Yo, what is the dealio? What's the dealio, y'all? So we got live charting session. We about to get it popping. We about to get it popping. We about to chart live, talk about the market, and kind of go from there. So, um, say what up if y'all tuning in. Say what's up. Say what's up. Like this video. All right, like this video as well for me. And yeah, we're gonna get into these charts. The market dropped today, and what happened is when the market dropped today, it was because they said that people weren't confident in this earnings batch, this quarter's earnings, because the government is still shut down, and also, um, you know, things are kind of bad, and there's no CPI data coming out, but CPI actually comes out on Friday. All right, so that's gonna be big. What up, Shali? What's up, D Hari? Will to the fee. What's up? What's up? QTZ, how you doing? How you doing? Genesis, how you doing? You good over there? What's up? What's up? What up, Trees? What up, Reg? So yeah, they saying that we don't have like data and stuff like that, but they're coming out with the CPI report on Friday. So we're gonna get some inflation data on Friday, and that inflation data is gonna like be a catalyst for us to go up or for us to come lower, right? So we gotta pay attention to that. What up, Key? What's up, Johnny? Right. So let's just get into the charts, man. Right. I know what we all here for. So how this works is I just share my screen and I just go through all my setups, and then we talk about what could pop off tomorrow. What's a good move for tomorrow? Yesterday I called out what was it, Robinhood to the T, and it came right down to that level. So um, yeah, you want to make sure that y'all tapping in with these lives, okay? So if y'all are tuning in, man, like this video for me. All right, let's get the likes up on these live charting videos. Literally be giving out levels to the T, man. All right. So where we at? No day trading. All right, so I'm just pulling up my list right here real quick. All right, here we go. All righty. What up, Angie? How you doing? So yeah, what we got? What we got right here? All right, so we got gold. All right, so let's check it out. What's up with the SPY? I called this to a T, y'all. Yesterday, I told everybody to look out for between 667 and 665, right? Because we got a gap to fill to the downside. And look what happened today. SPY came all the way down. See? SPY came all the way down to fill that gap right there. I have it right here. Literally last night, we talked about this. Last night we talked about this, y'all. Right? So be sure to understand how powerful this stuff is. I'm giving y'all layups. So they filled that gap now, right, from Monday. So now let's see what we got for SPY. So for SPY tomorrow, now we have a big range right here, right? We have a pretty big range right here. So we close at 667, which is a little bit closer to the bottom, but buyers did step in and they pushed it up, right? If we look at the 30-minute time frame, they pushed it up at the end of the day right here. So potentially we could recover and come back to the upside. So for tomorrow, Let me see. What I would say is, what's up, Pam? How you doing? So for tomorrow, this is the 4 hour time frame right here. So we got a one candle right there. So for tomorrow, I would say if we can get above 669.97, then enter in the calls for SPY. All right. So calls above 669.97. All right. For SPY. We closed at 667.80. But yeah, I would say calls above 669.97. And then we got some room to go up there. All right. 669.87. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that level right there. So if we get above there, then we could come back to the upside, okay? Now, let's go back to the daily. If we break below, so we got 663, which is pretty low. What's up, JT? How you doing? We got 663 down here, which is pretty low. So let's go back to the 4 hour. So really, it depends on how we're going to open up in pre-market. That's what's going to dictate. A lot of times what happens is when we have these big gap like sell-offs, the next day we try to we usually have a dead cat bounce and we try to come up a little bit, right? So for puts tomorrow, really I would say if we get below 666.74, okay? But we want to pay attention to pre-market levels. So we're going to say puts below 684, I said. Yeah. Puts below 666.84. And I did that because the range is so big that I want to give you some kind of outline. So calls above 669.97 on SPY tomorrow. Puts below 666.84. All right. We might just start pushing to the upside, or we could consolidate tomorrow, and then on Friday we have a really big move. But Tesla, in after hours, they beat revenue by 12%, but they dropped after hours. So I'm on Robinhood right now to see where they're at after hours right here. So Tesla is at 423 after hours. They're down 3.5%, right? So that could potentially drag down the SPY, right? And make things come lower, right? Because Tesla is a big mover. But they're at 423, so let me go see something on the daily time frame with Tesla real quick. All right, so for Tesla, the only order block they're at 323, right? 423. All right, so Tesla right now after hours is at 423 right here. Okay, so let me mark this right here. So they're at 423 right here, okay? So they could come down to around 411 maybe, or even 417. Let me drop down to the 6 hour. Okay. So on the 6 hour, we got an order block right here, right? It's between 423 and 414. All right. So write this down. If y'all like trading Tesla, write this down. Okay. Want to make sure I'm saying it slow. We got a range, a order block and it is from 423 down to 414. So depending on where Tesla opens up at tomorrow, they could come low as 414 and then bounce, or they could bounce off of this 423 level and go back up, right? So we have to pay attention to that right there. On the 4 hour, we have same order blocks, right? Same order blocks right here. And then the 2 hour, and we got a failed 2 down on the 2 hour right now. On the hourly, it looks like we would want to try to bounce here and go up. So for Tesla, I think that what's going to happen with Tesla is we're going to bounce and go up based off of what I'm seeing on these technicals. All right. So for all y'all Tesla lovers, that's what I'm seeing on Tesla. All right. What up, Adam? How you feeling? These are fire. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mark. So that's what's up with Tesla. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my list. Same way we've been doing it, right? I just go through my list, let y'all know what I see. And then the setups that I like, I'm going to let y'all know what the setups are. Okay. Let's go through IWM real quick as well, though. I call IWM as well down to 244 this morning. If you guys are in the Prosperity Collective, you already know I call IWM. We actually hit them for just like 20%. I should have had 150% today with them, but yeah. So let's do this. Let's go share screen. All right. So. All right, let's go to IWM. All right, so look what IWM did. Delete this real quick. All right, so IWM had a 3-bar, right? Had a 3-bar, and then sellers just came and fucked it up all day, right? Came and fucked it up all day. So if we go down here, came down all day, and then they bounced and they came up, right? So on the daily, what did they move? They came, excuse me. They came all the way down to 240, and they was all the way up at 246. So they moved $6 today, right? So tomorrow they could consolidate, like I said. Whenever you have a stock and they move like they have a big range, sometimes what they'll do is they'll go stay inside of yesterday's range, right? So like, look, you got a big move here. The next day is a consolidation. You got a big move here. The next day is consolidation, right? It didn't consolidate here. What else? Had a big move here, and then it consolidated for 2 days straight. Right? What up, Best B? You had a big day here, a really big day here, and then it consolidated, right? So yeah, anytime you have a big move, it is possible for there to be consolidation tomorrow, depending on where it opens up at tomorrow, right? So let's go to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, as you guys could see, we got this area right here, right? This is my area of interest right here. Okay? Right here. Cause look, we got a bounce right here. We got a bounce right here. And then we got a bounce right here, okay? Now I want you guys to pay attention to this, right? So it came down in this area 240, and look what happened. It got pushed all the way up, right, to 252. And then look what happened. It came back down. And where did it come? Right down to the same area. It bounced again, and look what happened. It blasted off, right? Now, it came down again, but look what happened. It's bouncing again. But pay attention, right? Pay attention to this. On the 4-hour time frame, it created a lower high right here on the 4-hour, right? So look at this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. Okay. This trend line right here. Let me change the color to blue right here. Right? What up, Swell Hunter? So this is a trend line. And then we gonna put, hold on. Let's zoom out a little bit. And then we gonna put, let me delete this right here. Okay. So we got this as support. It bounced off support right here. Right? And then we have I'm going to draw this right here. Okay. What up, Andre? So for IWM tomorrow, the level that I'm going to be paying attention to, is 244.74. Andres, what's up? What's up? So I'm going to be paying attention to 244.74. Calls of 244.74. All right. 244.74. If we get above 244.74, then we're going to be going up, right? Because also, pay attention, right? Once we get above here, we're going to be breaking out of this channel, right? Once we get above here. If we come up here to this level, right, then we could reject here, right? So this is also a rejection point. So 244.74 is a rejection point as well, right? Now, if we break above here, we could come up. But we need to really come up out of this channel. So if we bounce here and then we come up, I'm thinking this is the level as well you want to really pay attention to, 245.88, right? Because here's what you want to pay attention to, right? Do we create a lower high? Because this right here is a downtrend. Okay? This is a downtrend right here. I want you guys to pay attention to this. This is a downtrend. Why? We got a high, then came down and we got a lower high. Okay, this is a lower high right here. This is a high and this is a lower high. You see that right there? LH, it's a lower high. Okay? So, but we have the same type of low. The support is holding. So we got a support holding at the same level, but we got lower highs being created, right? So what that does is that puts us in this little wedge, okay? That puts us in this little wedge. So if we squeeze, right? Look at this. This looks like a triangle, right? A right triangle. If we squeeze in this area right here and we start coming up, then IWM is going to blast off. Also, because when you look at it, what do we have here? We have a double bottom, right? We got down here, and then we got up here, and then we have another bottom here, right? And now look what's happening. And now we're starting to come up. So if we come up, we could create a double bottom and then we could really blast off, right? So I want you guys to pay attention to 244.74. And then right here, if we get above 248.71, that will be the neckline, right? That will be the neckline. And if that's the neckline and we break above this neckline, then we're coming up to 251 and we're going to create all-time highs. All right? I hope that didn't confuse you. Right? Let me know if that made sense in the comments, y'all. All right, in the chat. Let me know if that made sense. That's my breakdown on IWM. That is my breakdown on IWM. Okay? Let me know if that made sense for you guys, if that's clear. If y'all are watching this, be sure to like this video, okay? I'm giving you guys real levels, real breakdowns, right? This is so you could make money tomorrow. Literally, tomorrow you could make money with what we're talking about today. That's how powerful this stuff is, all right? So do me a favor and like this video. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. This is my live charting session, okay? He said, man, my guy going 100 miles and running. Yeah, every day. Every single day. I'm coming up here. This week, we had 2 videos a week, right? We got a video earlier, and then we got the live charting session in the evening. So, yeah, we doing our thing right now. Okay. Salute puts on SPA your levels right on the money. Hey, salute D Goods. Appreciate that. Andre, okay. Like this video, y'all. All right. Get the likes up on this video, man. All right. If you haven't already. So you said for IWM, put levels. So I'm not really looking for puts on IWM, right? Because all of this is happening, right? We just had a bearish day. We came down here. We created a second bottom. So like all signs are pointing to the upside. If I was to play them to the downside, if I was to play IWM to the downside, I would wait until it gets below 240.83. Right? That's what I would do. To below 240.83. Or if you want to be aggressive, you want to say below 242.95. Okay? So puts below 242.95. All right. That's if you want to be aggressive. Or if you want to get a quick scalp, right? So that's what I would say on IWM. I gave you guys a very, very thorough analysis on IWM because that's my daily banger right there. If nothing else happened, I know I could go make money with IWM, right? Like legit every single day. All right? Every single day, man. Like, this ain't no game out here. We really study. We really, really study. That's why I always say the more you study, the less you worry. Because when you study, you ain't going to be worried and you're going to know what you're doing, right? This is not just me talking. This is real life right here, man. So I hope y'all picking it up. Dale still holding. Yeah, Dale is definitely holding those levels right there. Yeah, IWM, yeah, that support held 3 times, okay? So let's go through my list now, right? Let's go through my list. And let's see what other setups I see for tomorrow. So tomorrow, Shopify, Google failed two up. Hims looks like it wants to. It could come down a little bit more to $42. But yeah, Roblox, Palantir, Carvana. Do I play IWM different than most other stocks? Kind of, because it's an index, and we have 0 days to expirations. My risk amount is usually less because I'm usually anticipating a higher return, like a higher percentage return, and so I know that if I go make, let's say it's like 10 a.m. right, and I see a failed two down on a 30-minute time frame. I know I could go put 500 in it, and then I could go get, at least 50 to 100%, depending on what's going on, right? So I'll put less money in that trade, right? Because if I go put 3,000 in a trade, right, and I go make, let's say I make 20% on 3,000 in a trade, that's $600, right? But if I go put 500 in a trade and I go get 100%, that's $500. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like, this goes back to the video that I posted yesterday about, what did I say yesterday in my video? You have two styles of trading. You could leverage more and get smaller returns, or you could leverage less and get higher returns, okay? So it's like with IWM, I don't usually like to swing it. Sometimes I will though, right? Like if I see a move gearing up, then I'll go put some bread on a swing on IWM for maybe like 2 to 3 weeks out and collect that whole move. But with a small account, with a medium sized account, whatever, I know IWM it's gonna feed me, right? You can make a full-time income with IWM. And if you guys are inside of the Prosperity Collective in the Discord, I'm gonna make a video about IWM and how you can how to really trade it, right? Trading an index is definitely different than trading a stock. So, just keep that in mind. Like today, I was in an IWM trade. I was down, right? It was going up. I was up like 5%. I came all the way down like 50, 60%. And then I ended up getting out at like 12%, right? But you need patience when you're trading an index regardless. You need patience and you need trust because it's going to hit the target. If there's no news or nothing, it's going to hit the target. Even if it pulled back crazy, it's going to hit the target. You just got to chill out, don't over leverage, and trust the process. All right? So, yeah. She said, I can make money every day with IW. Yup. Salute to that, man. Can you hit gold? Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'm going to talk about gold today. Most of the time, style 2. Yeah, I like style 2 better. Yeah, IWM over SPY any day. All right, so we got Carvana. We got Dell. So Dell is holding, right? So I'm going to look at Dell again tomorrow. If we're bullish, if the sentiment is bullish tomorrow, Dell is going to go crazy, all right? Dell is going to go crazy. It'll go back up to 158, all right? So it was up slightly today, 0.47%, right? So it was on a failed two down. It came up. Look at those buyers, right? This is buyers, buyers, buyers. So if we can get above 150.35, 151.35, right? Same levels from yesterday, enter in the calls, all right? So I'll put that. Dell, okay. It's holding support, all right? Calls above 151.35. All right. Dell for sure. Who else we got? Nike. What else we got? Affirm, AMD, TSLL, SoFi, Lyft. Okay. Lululemon Circle, Enphase, CoreWeave. I would say the same thing with CoreWeave. It came down a little bit, but like still holding this area right here. So if it could get above this level, then it could go up. But you see how these EMAs right here are touching. If that 21 crosses over, then CoreWeave is gonna start coming down even more. All right. Got Meta, Tesla. What up, Soldier? Tons of flow on CoreWeave, 24 million on 140 puts, yeah, for December. So yeah, it could be coming down. Adobe. That's a nice setup right here. We got a big risk to reward here. It's a very nice setup. Webull. I ain't messing with Webull right now. Amazon. Intel. Intel has earnings after tomorrow and is inside of this bull flag. So I want to play them on earnings. I'm really thinking about entering into a call tomorrow before market closes. I'm really thinking about it. So if we in the Discord, I'll let you guys know. When you first enter, it talked about IWM. I locked in back then. It helps with a small account. Taught me, nah, for sure, QTZ, like IWM, it's going to test you. It's going to test your mental fortitude. But the returns that you can get if you get in at the bottom, man, we talking 200-300% a day. Like a big mover like that with 0 day to expirations, man, or next days, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. OKLO, SMCI, PanW, Oracle. Where they at? They closed at 272. Oracle looking like they might they toying with coming down to 255. So man. Let me see how much Oracle's contracts are right now. Oracle. So Oracle is at where are they? Oh, here we go. They closed at 272. Their contracts are for this week like $400 to $600 per contract. I might trade Oracle on Friday with 0 days because they'll be like $100. They're a big mover, so you can make some good money with Oracle. But they flirting with this support right here. They lose the support, it's over. Right? You see how they've been coming down since 300 for a minute now. So they ready to get to that 250. All right, so we got VRT, bearish 3-bar, a failed 2-up on Netflix, Alibaba, Nvidia. This is an interesting one. QQQ, Uber, MRK. MRK could be a nice trade to the downside. If MRK gets below 86.97, it could come down. But I ain't really going. MRK, you gotta get it on a trend. So I might swing a put with this from here, right? But I wouldn't really day trade it unless I knew like the trend of the direction. Starbucks is on a consolidation right here. Do you think the market is going to be bloody tomorrow with Trump putting 100% tariffs on Russia? I mean, it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news thing, right? We gotta really see, right? The market been kangarooing, bouncing up and down. Because we came down so bad today, I think that we might see some bullish sentiment either in the afternoon or the morning time. But it could be bloody, right? With what I'm seeing on these setups, we either gonna have continuation or we gonna get a bounce to the upside, right? This is Google. Let's go back to Google. Google is on a failed 2 up, so and Google has this. If you zoom out a little bit, this is a double top right here. So, what's up, Green Galloway? I'm gonna put Google on a failed 2 up. And I'm going to look at them to the downside tomorrow. All right, I'll look at them to the downside tomorrow. Like I said, Intel is inside of a bull flag, so we'll see. I might play them on earnings. QQQ, MRK, Starbucks, Celsius, App, Googs. Marvell, they came all the way back down to the support level. AVGO, SoundHound. SoundHound looks like it's ready to bounce. It could come down a little lower, but it's ready to bounce. 1852. So if SoundHound could get above 1852, then I would get in the calls. SoundHound above 1852, I would get in the calls. What else we got? XYZ. I'm not seeing too much here right now. It looked like a little bear flag, but I'm not really digging this setup. APLD, we hit them today. Microsoft. Delta Airlines, that's a 2-2 reversal. Apple, hold on, let's go back to Apple. Apple has a gap to fill to the downside right here. Apple has a gap to fill down here, so, but it did come up at the end of the day, right? Yeah, it came up at the end of the day, so, let's see, 55, 252. Yeah. If Apple drops below 255.68, I would get into puts on Apple. So, puts below 255.52. All right. Puts below 255.52, and then it could come and fill this gap. All right, so that's a $3 move right there you could get on Apple. All right. Let's see what else we got. DoorDash dropped. What did I say yesterday? I said if we get below here, then we get below here, then we gonna be riding puts, right? I don't know if y'all was on here yesterday, but I talked about DoorDash. And they sank right here. What else we got? Yeah, all the lives are saved. All the lives are saved. All you gotta do is go on my YouTube page, and you could go look at all of my lives for the last year, and you could go change your life if you took the time to go watch all of my lives. IBM on a 3-bar. CRM looks like it's setting up for a bearish reversal right here. Rejection off this 200 EMA right here, coming down. CRM to the downside looks nice. So I'll say CRM. 212, bearish reversal. All right. ANET, I also like this setup as well. It's on a failed 2 down. So if A net can get above 148.45, calls 148.45 on A net. I was looking at them earlier. 148.45. All right. I want y'all to be clear too. I trade setups, right? I don't be married to stocks. I trade setups. So if I see a setup, it could be a stock that you never heard of. If I see a setup, I'm gonna trade it, right? Most likely, unless the spreads are horrible or whatever, or if it's a shitty company. But I'm gonna trade the setups. You know what I mean? So I focus on setups. Inside of the Discord course, I got a whole video about that. Focus on the setups and not the stock. All right. Like I have my go-tos. I got my ones that's consistent. But if I see a setup on a stock that I probably don't trade all the time, I'm gonna take it. On a swing trade, we Gucci. All right. Um, if y'all are watching this video right now and you have not liked the video and you want me to, look over something, like this video. All right, let's get these likes up. Do Netflix. I'll do that after I make this list. Analysis on the Qs. So I went over the SPY, and the SPY and QQQ look almost identical. So when I go, I may go over QQQ, but just give me some time. Shout out to Michigan, man. Yeah, shout out to Michigan. All right, so what else we got? Okay, so gold. So this is for you, Swell Hunter. All right. Adam, were you in the Sunday session? In the the study session from last week? I have a whole we went in about failed 2 downs, right? We talked all about failed 2 downs. So if you haven't, go inside of the study session and then watch the replay of last week's study session. I talk all about failed 2 downs. All right. I'm about to make a video about failed 2 downs and I'm gonna put it inside of the course. And then also I'm going to do we got some other stuff we're gonna add to the course as well. So yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Go inside the study set. Listen, the study sessions and the course, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it'll change your life, man. Right? Like, make sure y'all are, you know, consuming the information that we are giving you guys inside of the Prosperity Collective because it's next level and it's so much good information. All right. So let's go back to gold. Okay, this is for you, Swell Hunter. So let's look real quick. So yesterday they had their worst day in history, right? They had their worst day in history. So we have today a failed 2 down. Now let's look what happened real quick. Let's look what happened real quick. Go to the 30-minute, right? So watch what happened. Pay attention. So they closed right here at 379. Oh, no. They closed right here at 377, right? Yesterday. They closed right here, right? Now, look what happened. Pay attention, y'all. They gapped down, right? They gapped down and they opened right here at 372. Okay. So they gapped down and opened at 372. All right. So now this is a gap, right? This is a gap. But look what happened. You thought they was gonna fill the whole gap. They didn't. They rejected. They came down, and then they ended up coming and filling up the gap. Right at the end of the day. Now that put us on a failed two down on the daily time frame, right? And we bounced off of the 21 EMA. So let me show you the bounces. We bounced off of the 21 EMA, right? We got all these bullish fair value gaps right here, right? And then, so here will be my price targets for gold. I'm looking for them over the next 1 to 2 days to make a nice move, right? So here's where they can go. They can go right here, 381. I got in at 377, like 70, right? So they can go right here. All right. They can go right here first. 381. The next level would be right here at 386. Okay. 386 is the next level. Okay. And then if let's say we trend and we go strong, or what if we just gap up tomorrow? We got a gap right here from 389, 388, 389, all the way up to 394, right? We got a gap here as well. So my expiration date is October 24th, which is Friday, right? So I'm giving it 2 days, but on a failed two down, after it's came down where it's came down from, we may open up a little bit lower, but I'm anticipating it to push up after it dropping from 402 all the way down to 369, right? Let's do some math real quick. 402 to 369, right? Let's do some math real quick. Calculator. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. 402 minus 369. That's $33, right? Now watch this. 33, we're going to divide that by 402, right? Times 100. That's 8.2%, okay? So gold is down 8.2% over the past 2 days. Whenever a stock is down 10%, 8% in a short period of time, there is a good chance that it could retrace, because that's kind of like an irrational move, right? So because we came down 8% in 3 days, and then we have a failed two down on the daily time frame after coming down the way we did, I'm willing to put my money up and say, I think that we have found a support, and this is an area where we're going to start to go up, right? So that's my thinking, and that's what I'm looking at on gold. And that's why I entered in to those swings, that swing today, because sometimes you got to be willing, like, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, right? Did I put my whole account in it? No, right? I'm going to always have proper risk management. I didn't put a whole bunch of money into it. But at the end of the day, if they gap up by $6 tomorrow, let's just say, and I'm up 150%, the small amount that I did put up, that's more than what people are making in a day anyway. And that's on a wake up. That doesn't include my day trades. You see what I'm saying? So when I take swings like this, an overnight swing, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of money in the trade. But if I'm up 50, 75, 100% overnight, I look at that as free money. And then that makes it easier for me when I'm taking my trades, because what if I'm up? What if I wake up and I have 1 or 2 positions that I swung overnight and I'm up? Let's say I'm up 600. I could be like, okay, I may only make another 500 or so, right? Because I'm already up this amount of money. Or I may say, okay, I'm gonna count these 2 trades as my day trades for the day, and now I'm gonna be a little bit more patient with my trades for the day, even though I'm usually pretty patient anyway, right? So that's how I like to look at it. When I have little like trades like this, like overnight swing trades based on my setups that I would take if I was day trading it anyway, I'm gonna be like, okay, let me take that, right? Because on a failed 2 down, even if you take an L, it's not a big L because the momentum is usually pushing the stock to the upside anyway, right? The momentum, it's not like it's a 2 down candle. If you get in on a 2 down candle, you're hoping for a bounce. But if you get in on a failed 2 down, you're basing your decision off of upward momentum. So because the stock has upward momentum and I'm getting into calls, I'm getting in before the momentum fully kicks in. And when the momentum fully kicks in, it could be a gap up, or it could be it opened up right at the level and then it just blasts off, right? So that's how I like to look at it. Does that make sense? Right? Let me know if that makes sense. If you don't know what failed 2 downs are, man, come join the Prosperity Collective, right? We got whole trainings and everything on failed 2 downs. This is a candle that could change your life if you let it. All right? Real talk. He said, oh shit. I appreciate that, Swell Hunter. Appreciate that. I will not spend that $10 all in one place. All right. Tomorrow study. I'm looking forward to. Oh yeah. Yeah, Marcel gonna get y'all right. These free YouTube videos are life changing. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all gotta understand, right? Every single day for this whole year, I have not missed a day, right? Some days I'm putting out 2 videos a day. And literally people are making thousands of dollars off of these YouTube videos, right? Just think about that. Just think about that. Take this stuff serious. So if you come and join the trading community, it's only going to take your game up to the next level, right? So, man, if you have not, man, come join the collective, right? Come book a one-on-one, do what you got to do. But come on, right? We invite you to come on. All right. He said being patient, waiting for setups is just yeah. I used to always get into trades, but man, I just be wanting to be patient. All right. So we got FedEx, Lockheed. What else we got? Trade Desk. Trade Desk might go up tomorrow. They got a 2-1 setup right here. So I look at Trade Desk TTD. I look at them on a 2-1-2. I probably won't trade them, but I do want to just have this setup. I mean, I just want to have that setup written down, so I'm I'm not missing out on something. DraftKings, they look like a double bottom right here, so they could be coming up. Let's see, TSM, IBIT, XOM, UNH, Robinhood. I like Robinhood to the upside, y'all. Actually, I think I'm gonna swing Robinhood because look at this. They are on a confirmed double bottom, right? They had a little lower low right here. Came down to 121, but it bounced and now it's starting to come up, right? So for tomorrow, if Robinhood gets above 128.52, enter in the calls. Okay? Calls. 128.52. Yeah. All right. Calls above 128.52. This is gonna be my main watch for tomorrow. I know on the daily time frame they're on a 2 down, but I think Robinhood gonna make some noise. So that's gonna be my main watch. Is gonna be Hood. All right. So if you in the Discord, expect to make some money with Hood tomorrow. All right. because silver, and look, silver is on a failed 2 down as well, right? Silver is on a failed 2 down as well. Let's look at silver in after hours. SLV right now is they're down 0.3%. They closed at 43.88. They're at 43.73. So yeah. So silver might go back to the upside as well tomorrow. All right. Tempest, Duolingo, Reddit, Ionic, Rocket Lab, okay, Irene, BTS. Yeah, I'm not seeing like no crazy setups. We gotta just see what happens tomorrow. So for tomorrow, I'm gonna be looking at IWM and Robinhood. Those are gonna be my main 2 watches. Okay, so we got IWM and Robinhood is gonna be my main 2. Hood is on a double bottom, so I should have got in earlier. I took my eyes away from them and they started pushing up because I saw them when they were at 121. Let's see, they were at 121. Yeah, this would have been a beautiful. Oh yeah, I know what it was. I didn't get in because right here I saw this and I was like, man, I see what they doing. We got right here, and then they had a little bear. It looked like a little bear flag right here, right? So I was like, this is a bear flag and it's gonna probably come lower. And then what it do, it bounced back to the upside. All right, so that's why I didn't get in that one. But they had a nice move at the end of the day for sure. And that's how they get you sometimes. They're gonna give you the move at the last 30 minutes of the market when you probably ain't looking at it, right? So that's my main watches. I'm gonna be looking at IWM and I'm gonna be looking at Robinhood to the upside. All right. It's important to not have a bias, but at the same time, you want to kind of know what you're looking for, right? So if I call out a stock, I'm gonna be looking for it to go in a direction, because if it goes in the direction that I'm looking for it to go in, that's gonna give me more confidence. So if I say I'm looking at this stock, as long as it holds above $100, and if it gaps up to 130 cents and it comes down to 99 and then it goes up to 100 and 110 cents, that's going to give me confirmation and confidence to get into the trade and write it up, because it's doing what I was looking for it to do, right? If I'm trading this, if I'm getting into a trade that I hadn't planned before, then I'm not going to be confident in that trade, right? So that's what I like to focus on. Is I know it's like, don't have a bias, but at the same time, you do want to have a plan. And when you have a plan, you're going to know what direction that stock is going. And when it goes in that direction, you're going to be that much more confident in your trades, right? So just make sure y'all have a plan every day. All right. Plan your trade and trade your plan. All right. So let me know if that makes sense. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Tomorrow we are going to make some bread in the stock market like we always do. All right. We're going to make some bread in the markets. It's going to be a great day as well in the markets. All right. So I didn't even know it's been an hour. But yeah, so those are what I'm looking at. IWM and Hood for tomorrow. All right. I gave y'all those levels. I gave y'all the whole game plan on IWM as well. So yeah, man. All right. So listen, y'all, like I always say in every single video, man, I want you to get up out your head and go get into this world, because your head, it is a dangerous place to live. All right, y'all? And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. So make sure y'all go over this video. I went over all the levels, SPY, IWM, and all of that stuff, man. Go over everything. And we gonna make 100K tomorrow for sure, Mark. For sure. But y'all have a great night, man. I'ma holla at y'all. Y'all all stay smooth, man. Peace.